Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Elaine. I want to say a spiritual mentor or a positive mentor, whatever the case may be. I'm going to use the mentor when you get to that age where you're more of a mentor than you are a parent, or people see you kind of as their mom or whatever the case may be. Anyway, welcome. If you're not already a subscriber, be sure to hit that subscribe button, make a comment, thumbs up, hit the bell, whatever floats your boat today. Today is a good day. Obviously, I'm in the car. Still paying attention. I'm very, very careful with that. Anyway, I've been thinking, and I like to share when I'm thinking about things that I think are important. And this one is basically to get people to be more self-aware of how they tell a story. And basically what I say is a story is something that happened to you, because we can't control what happened to us. None of us can control what happened to us, especially with some circumstances or whatever. But we can control how we feel about what happened to us, or we can control how we recover or regroup after something happens. God knows there's been some devastating things that have happened to people across the world. That's without a doubt no argument from me. I notice when I tell a story, I don't care how old the story is, if it's the way I tell the story decides whether or not I'm getting better, or if I'm in the same place I was 10, 15 years ago. For example, my husband was killed. We were separated at the time. But every time I would tell the story, and get so filled with emotions. 10 years later, 12 years later, 14 years later, I'm still telling the story the same way. So now I'm learning that I don't want to stay in that type of emotion, because that's very painful. It was extremely painful. I lost my slider. Anyway, it was very painful. So now I tell the story, it happened. It was nothing I could do to control it. Or I can tell myself a different story. Had we been together, that wouldn't have happened. There's no proof. There's no, real validation about that. It was something that happened, and I have spent the last, I want to say, 16 years. It could be more. But I want to say that I wanted to spend it not reflecting on his death, but reflecting on his life. And that's what we've been doing over the past, I want to say 5-6 years. Because when you don't know how to handle something, you handle it as best you can. And that's who I am, and that's how I feel about things. But when you tell a story, just be mindful of whether you stay in the emotions, because if you stay in the emotions part of the story, then you're not healing. You're not getting better. You're not in that place that you need to be in so that you can go on. And it's not an easy thing to do. It takes practice. And another example is, my dad. He wasn't always there for me. I love my dad dearly. But there was a way I was telling a story that he wasn't there for me, or I didn't feel he was there for me the way I needed him to be there for me. So yeah, my story was more emotional than anything else. And once I let go of the emotions part of it, I could forgive the actual circumstances, situations, or perhaps forgive myself the way I looked at it. Because you could tell yourself a story, it really has nothing to do with the situation. But you done told yourself this whole story before you even got the facts, or you had a conversation about it, or whatever the case may be. So I'm basically saying be aware of the way you tell a story. It's important because it keeps you in it, or it demonstrates that you're getting better. And you can definitely test yourself. And if you find that you're in a situation or something happened to you that was so devastating that you can't get past it, doesn't matter how many years it's been or months or whatever the case may be. You have to go into recovery. You can't bury these things. You can't anesthetize the pain. You have to deal with the issue. If you have to talk to somebody or you have to get counseling for it, whatever the case may be, you cannot carry pain and hurt and think that you could just be normal. Because you might think you're being normal, but you're carrying it into your relationships, you're carrying it into your attitudes, you're carrying it. And to me, it's better if you get help, depending on what it is. But if it's something that's hurting you, at least talk to someone that you trust and build yourself up from there. That's how I see it. Because, like, I carried these things for years, not realizing that it was like drinking poison every day. You sound bitter, you sound angry constantly, and you're not getting better. You're just in the same spot you were in when the actual incident happened. Because I can basically pinpoint, certain times in my life that I started getting angry. And that is a bad emotion to carry. And I even tell my children and other people that I come across when they sound angry, you don't understand. You may have a right to feel some type of way, but carrying the anger doesn't punish them. It punishes you. It's like unforgiveness. It's not a gift for somebody else. The unforgiveness is you punishing yourself. Because most of the time people don't went on, you still walking around mad. That's how I was. And take it from me, you don't want to waste time being angry or unforgiving or unloving or untrusting. And get to this age and this stage of life. So be careful of how you tell a story. Main thing, bottom line is listen to yourself. Pay attention to how you tell a story or what stories you're telling and from how far back you're going. Because if it's something that you need to just say, get it off your chest, you can move on, do that. But don't keep talking about things that was 50 years ago. Nobody's there but you. So with that being said, let's move forward in a healthy way. Let's get into recovery. Let's be mindful of how we carry things that hurt us. Because you can't change what happened to you, but you can change how you react and how you respond to what happens to you. And with that being said, you guys stay blessed. Know that I love you. See you soon. Peace.